Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're looking at a story that is as awe-inspiring as it is just, well, deeply tragic. We're talking about 10 climbers, one mountain, one devastating avalanche. And right in the middle of it all was a man the world honestly believed could survive absolutely anything. Nirmal Nims Purja.
So it naturally brings us to a really profound question. How did the mountain defeat a legend? I mean, this was a man who conquered all 14 of the world's 8,000-meter peaks in record time. He was a literal titan of human endurance. So how did the mountain finally defeat one of the greatest mountaineers in history? Well, let's look at the story of Nimsdai's final expedition.
Okay, let's dive right into part 1, the final expedition, late July 2026.
Nims was embarking on a mission on Broad Peak, over in Pakistan's incredibly formidable Karakoram Range. Now, as we just mentioned, Nirmal, Nims Purja, was the guy who conquered all 14 of the world's 8,000-meter peaks in record time. And when you look at an unparalleled track record like that, it really highlights the sheer shock of what happened here. This was a man who knew high altitudes better than almost anyone else alive.
But here's the thing. For Nims, this specific climb wasn't about chasing another record. Not at all. He was leading a very diverse international expedition team, with climbers joining from Nepal, Pakistan, the United States, Oman, and China. He was taking on the immense, heavy responsibility of leading this group of 10 clients safely toward one of the highest summits on Earth.
Moving on to part 2, climbing Broad Peak and its deadly reputation.
Now, Broad Peak is notorious for a very good reason, because it presents an invisible enemy to anyone who attempts it. To put this into perspective for you, at this extreme altitude, the air holds a mere fraction of the oxygen found at sea level, specifically just 1/3. That means every single breath you take is an absolute battle.
And the route to the summit crosses these incredibly steep snow slopes. The team climbs straight through the freezing night, and you can imagine every step became exponentially harder in that thin air. But despite the freezing temperatures, the highly unstable snow, and the immense physical toll it was taking on their bodies, the team bravely pushed onward. Which brings us to part 3, the deadly avalanche, a sudden disaster.
High above their climbing route, the mountains simply gave way, creating this terrifying timeline of tragedy. Nighttime. The grueling climb begins as they push through the biting cold. Midday, a massive avalanche suddenly breaks loose. And afterward, radio contact is permanently lost. That nighttime push violently transformed into a disaster in a matter of seconds. Nowhere to run, no shelter, zero time to react. Within seconds, literal tons of snow and ice thundered downhill. The massive avalanche swept completely across the slope, carrying the climbers with it, just sweeping the entire team away in this terrifying display of raw force. And then, silence replaced hope.
Let's look at part 4, the search for survivors and fading hope.
The response was immediate, for sure, but the conditions were absolutely brutal. The search mission turned into this desperate, multifaceted effort. You had air rescue using helicopters searching from high above, combined with ground rescue, where experienced mountaineers actually climbed back into that highly dangerous terrain on foot. But the crucial point here is that these brave rescue teams ran into seemingly insurmountable natural obstacles. We're talking violent storms, incredibly deep snow, and extreme altitude. These conditions made the rescue impossibly difficult, and as each agonizing day passed, hope just faded a little bit more.
And then, eventually, the heartbreaking confirmation came through. All 10 climbers lost their lives.
Which leads us to part 5, a legend's legacy and why it happened.
In the wake of a tragedy like this, you have to ask, could this have been prevented? But when we look at the facts, it was quite simply the mountain's decision. At this time, there's zero evidence that a single human mistake caused the disaster. Broad Peak is just one of the world's most dangerous mountains. Fresh snowfall, unstable snow layers, and the mountain's inherently steep terrain can trigger avalanches for literally anyone, even the absolute most experienced climbers in the world. Sometimes, pure skill is just not enough. Nature makes the final call.
But here's what you should take away from this. His legacy isn't how he died. His legacy is how he lived. Nimsdai firmly believed that limits are meant to be challenged. He inspired the whole world by proving that impossible was just a word. He lived his life with immense courage, determination, and an unwavering belief in pushing the boundaries of what we humans can achieve.
So, what does this all mean for us? It leaves us with a profound, lingering thought. Are even the strongest climbers ever truly stronger than the mountain? Nimsdai's final expedition serves as a powerful reminder of the limits of human strength when faced with the raw, uncontrollable forces of nature. It definitely challenges us to respect the mountains even as we strive to conquer them. Rest in peace, Nimsdai. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.